we're going to read story 6 from Wipeout of the Wireless Weenies. It's called Mr. Chompywomp. I have no idea what it's about, but it sounds like it's going to be super funny because, Chompywomp sounds like a great name, right? Let's go. Alina clutched the teddy bear close to her as she walked toward her aunt's apartment. It was on the same block as her own apartment building. She didn't have to cross the street to get there. She just had to turn the corner twice. That was nice, because it meant she could head off in either direction and not get lost. Her mother would have walked with her, but there'd been an emergency. Alina didn't really understand what had happened. She just knew that nice old Miss Pershing across the hall had been frantic, and there'd been a lot of shouting and screaming. Then Alina's mom had knelt down and said to her, "You need to go to your auntie's. Can you walk there by yourself?" Alina had nodded. She wasn't afraid of anything, not when she had Mr. Chompywomp with her. He would protect her from anything. That was her secret. "Don't talk to anyone," her mother said. "I won't." "Don't even look at anyone." "I know." Alina grabbed the teddy bear from her bed, kissed her mom, and took the elevator down to the first floor. She headed out, clutching the bear so that Mr. Chompywomp would hear her heart beating. Left or right? Still clutching the teddy bear with both arms, she headed left. Her heart sped up as she turned the corner and saw the boys, 3 of them. Older, tougher, and obviously looking for trouble. She froze, wondering whether she could retreat before they noticed. "What's this?" the biggest one said, stepping in front of her. He had the name Calvin stitched on his jacket. Another of the boys stepped past Calvin and moved beside her. The third one stood where he was, off to the side. "You lost?" Calvin asked. Alina shook her head. She didn't see anybody else nearby to rescue her. "You must be lost. Anyone who lives here knows you gotta pay tribute to King Calvin. Got any money?" Alina shook her head. "You don't say much. Maybe I'll talk to him instead." Calvin snatched the teddy bear. "Don't hurt Mr. Chompywomp," she shouted before she could control herself. Calvin let out a laugh that had no humor in it. "Mr. Chompywomp." He squeezed the bear's neck and prodded its mouth with the other hand. "No teeth. No real mouth. How's he going to chomp anything?" Alina kept her mouth shut. "What a piece of junk," Calvin said. "He's not even sewn together good." He yanked at the bear's head. It separated with a rip. Loose threads dangled from the ragged neck. "Oh, poor little bear," the boy behind Alina said. "Looks like Mr. Chompywomp came apart," Calvin said. "I wonder if your head is attached any better." "That's not Mr. Chompywomp," Alina said. "That's Mr. Bear." She figured she wasn't revealing a secret, at least not a secret that would be kept much longer. Calvin stood there, not showing any sign of understanding. "Mr. Chompywomp lives inside Mr. Bear until he gets hungry." Something dark and strong burst from the open neck of Mr. Bear and leapt onto Calvin's chest. Calvin's scream drowned out the wet sound of Mr. Chompywomp digging for his heart. Before Calvin even hit the ground, Mr. Chompywomp had leapt to his second victim. The third one fell soon after. Alina waited until Mr. Chompywomp had groomed the blood from his fur before letting him crawl back into Mr. Bear. "Don't worry," she said as she walked away from King Calvin and his friends. "Auntie has a sewing kit. I'll fix you up good as new." But like always, she'd make sure not to sew Mr. Bear's head on too tightly. Mr. Chompywomp had a big appetite. Luckily, King Calvin wasn't the only heartless person out there. Ooh, boy, that was a spooky one. Hope you enjoyed it. The end.